All right, everybody, Keith McGinnis here with KCDC Designs. I've got a bathroom vanity here, and we're going to be using white metallic. This is Pearl Shimmer, which is a color passion color. And then I have a Pearl Gold, which is an interference gold. And then I have, this is Chameleon. Where's my little, I can show you some of this. This is Chameleon. It's but this one here, it changes colors based on the angle. It's really cool. And this particular customer has an antique mirror that has some green in it and has some, I don't know, mauve. So as I get my colors poured out onto the surface, you'll also notice that I fogged the edges. And I do this on all of my projects, and it's always a good idea to fog the edges. Remember, those corners, those edges, are the thinnest, where the epoxy is going to be the thinnest. So if you don't fog those edges, whatever your undercoat paint is, that's what's going to show through. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to marble this. So I'm just going to meld all of these colors together, and basically all I want to do at this point is I'm just getting the surface completely covered. Now we'll get that torched out, and then it's time to create the fantasy marble, and let's get out some spray paints. Make sure we get some of that going. Like that. Yeah. Bright coat chestnut. Little leather brown. Khaki. And some champagne bronze. And our bondo spreader. And yeah, let's get a little bit of flow going there that way. Oh, gotta get some of our, where'd our mean green go? Doesn't look like much now, does it? But keep watching, because remember, this is what it's going to end up looking like. So let's go on to the next step, and I'll show you how it happened. So whether you're using a notched bondo spreader, or you may just be using your paint stick to create those lines, as long as you can be patient, those lines are going to soften up, and those lines are going to fade. But what you can also do, which is what I'm doing here, is using the heat gun just to manipulate those and just to kind of move those around and make them look a little bit more authentic. You can open some up, you can kind of push them from side to side. Again, just to give it more of an authentic look. So here I wanted to run a vein that was going to kind of pour into that undermount sink on one side and then kind of finish out on the other. And keep in mind, when you're creating veins and your epoxy is very, very fluid, the vein is going to want to open up some. If you wait until your epoxy has set up more, those veins are going to stay tighter. And then once I run those colors in there and I get that the way I like it, then I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to open those up just a little bit and kind of move those around. Again, just to make it look a little more authentic. That looks cool. Really cool on the inside of the sink. Got a beautiful front edge. And I think I am digging that. Oh, baby cakes. That is pretty. I'm walking away. Walking away. So let's do a flyover, and I'll point out a couple things. For one, remember all those lines that bondo spreader put in there? See how much those softened up? Some of that is due to just being patient and some time, and some of that, the moving around of that, was done with the heat gun. And then take a note of that backsplash. See how it's about 3/4 of an inch off to the right? That's because when I stand that up, that vein will then match up. And that vein really adds a lot. See how it kind of pours into that undermount sink and then continues on to the other side? and the undertones that I put in there, that marbling that I did, you don't really see that from a distance, but you can see that when you're standing over the top of it. The edge turned out fabulous, looks fantastic. And you really kind of have to babysit your edges and just kind of keep an eye on those and make sure that you don't have any of those heavy runs. That's why when I initially put down my epoxy, I like to grease those edges right away. That edge, that vein coming over the edge really looks cool. And there you can see those undertones where I did that marbling, and that chameleon color actually does change colors as you kind of look at it from different directions. Overall, the piece turned out really nice. I did end up putting the Ultimate Top Coat matte finish on there. So here's after the sink has been installed and with that matte finish. And yes, it is matte, but the colors still really stand out. I'm really a big fan of the natural Ultimate Top Coat. I think it looks very natural. Doesn't have that high gloss look to it where sometimes you get so much reflection and it's hard to see the design. But those colors really pop. The project altogether I think turned out great. I will get some installation pictures. I have installed this piece, so I'll get some pictures of what it looks like installed and in place along with that customer's antique mirror I showed earlier. But all the colors really turned out nice. The customer was extremely satisfied with it. So this design that I created, it's fantasy marble. You can call it a fantasy brown, but you can use any colors with it, and it really gives it a really cool look. That extra vein, again, I think really sets everything off. So let me know your thoughts. Be sure and click the subscribe button for upcoming tutorials. I try to get one posted every week. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll certainly do anything I can to help you out. Wow, that's really pretty. That really turned out nice. So thanks everybody, and we will see you on the next video.